Hello everyone. Uh-oh. There we go. Alright. We're working now. That is good. Welcome everybody. Hope you're doing well. I am Isaac Umbras, and today we are back in Enthusia Professional Racing. It is good to be here. It is good to have y'all here. Welcome everybody. Last we left off, we have been driving the wonderful Jaguar E-Type as we're loading in. And I'm looking forward to it. We get to drive it a little bit more today. The wonderful inline 6 powered, gorgeous kitty cat. What a great kitty cat it is. The 4.2 liter inline 6 triple carb beast of a machine. It is a gorgeous machine. So let's dive right in. Yeah, that's at a fairly low level right now, so we don't have to worry too much about it. We'll have a little bit of extra pizzazz, I think. Yeah, let's call it pizzazz. Isaac Umbras, welcome for HLBGT. Hope you are well. Making sure my chat is working. Okay, good. My chat is working. That was giving me a slight trouble here today, so that is good. Welcome. Anyway, let's get to work. Ooh, we do the Road Regatta Championship. It is Microstrata Classic. Oh gosh, 25.7 to 1. Yeah, no. Okay, so that's not gonna. That ain't gonna fly. That ain't gonna fly. I think. We could do the Victoria Road Challenge. British car. We got the Jaguar. It does have the independent rear suspension. A very unique independent rear suspension as well. That is unique to the Jaguars. With the inboard brake rotors that allow for a reduction in unsprung mass. Basically, the brake rotors and calipers and everything were right alongside the differential instead of at the end of the axle in the wheel hub. They were right next to the differential. And that had a benefit of reducing the unsprung weight in the wheels, which improved handling at the time. Very, very nice. It contributed to Jaguar's, at the time, legendary handling and stability over bumps and rough surfaces, and their racing pedigree. Oh, this is nice. Yeah, get the triple carb, side draft carb, 4.2 liter, inline 6. Absolutely screaming. The Jaguar E-Type, it didn't always have a 4.2 liter inline 6 though. It initially had a 3.8 liter inline 6 XK engine. Same amount of power, but a bit less torque. And the first gear didn't have a synchronizer until they swapped it with a 4.2 liter engine. I swapped it to the large engine to help standardize the engines amongst their other models, which are also going to be using the 4.2 liter inline 6. And they also did it to get a little bit more torque at the expense of a little bit of top-end power. So the power remained the same because it didn't increase the displacement, but it was definitely set up for a little bit more lower-end torque, which made it a little bit easier to drive, made it a little much more palatable to the American market, alongside having the synchronizer on the first gear. The earlier 3.8 liter inline 6 versions did not have a synchronizer on the first gear, which meant that drivers had to be very, very careful when shifting down in the first gear. They would have to rev match when doing that. So a little bit of heel toe and everything, a little bit longer shifts, a little bit more cautious shifts to avoid gear grinding. The synchronizers definitely made it a lot more drivable. Although today, believe it or not, despite the kind of less amenities and everything, the 3.8 liter early E-Types are actually worth more than the 4.2 liter inline 6 versions. Though granted, even the 4.2 liter versions can still fetch well over $100,000 at auction, especially for particularly high quality examples. So it is still a very gorgeous, very sought after vehicle. Yeah, but yeah, we are in the first gen E-Type, introduced in 1961. It was available as the fixed head coupe or the open two-seater roadster. This is the fixed head coupe version. Hard top with the fastback design. Top speed of around 150 miles an hour stock. About 265 horsepower. Very, very impressive performance for its time. It was a vehicle that even Enzo Ferrari said was one of the most beautiful contemporary cars of the time. Okay, little bit of a fishtailing there. Kitty's still got claws. The kitten still got claws. Adachi, welcome. Hope you're well. We're driving a classic British sports car on the London roads, and it is a beautiful machine. And it is very nice. It's a little bit tail happy on the streets. You gotta remember, even with the independent rear suspension, it is still very tail happy. But it is still an absolute beast of a car, so we are pushing forward with it. Got some pretty solid horsepower as well. For like 1960s, 265 horsepower is absolutely nothing to sniff at. The 3.8 liter version had a 0 to 60 in around 7 seconds, which for its day was very, very respectable. I think the 4.2 liter version had a little bit quicker 0 to 60. I have to double check that, but I believe that one was like 6.7 seconds with a little bit more torque, and also the faster gear change out of first gear as well, with the synchronized first gear. One of the downsides, though, you might be wondering, if the Jaguar IRS was so legendary at the time, why don't more manufacturers use it? And the big issue is, with the advances in suspension technology, as well as the ability to make components of the vehicles lighter, like the wheels lighter and everything, reducing the unsprung mass is a little bit less of an issue nowadays. So you get the mechanical simplicity of having the standard brakes in the wheels itself, plus it allows for better rear brake cooling, which was still a little bit of an issue of the E-types, especially in racing scenarios. Less so compared to the drum-braked, some of the drum-brake cars at the time, but it was still a known issue. And also the heat from the brakes can degrade the rubber seals of the rear differential and cause oil leaks. So you do run into some slight reliability issues. But yeah, it is nice. It is a beautiful machine. The other issue is replacing worn components, because brakes are wear components on on every vehicle, and so you had to completely remove and work around the suspension and differential, and partially disassemble the rear axle as well in order just to replace the brakes. So what should be an hour job turned into a multi-hour job and required much more specialized work. And that's what's Horizon 626. I saw that in Japan too. Hopefully, it'll be interesting to see how they utilize the map with that. I'm excited. I'm hoping they bring about some a lot more changes and everything. From what I've gathered, 5 hasn't really been necessarily a big step up compared to 4, and even 4 was a kind of a slight step up from 3. So with that, it's one of those things. It is one of those things with hopefully they're able to bring a lot more to the table, especially because now that is pretty much the only game that's really carrying the Forza title, as Forza Motorsport seems to probably be on its way out. It's crazy how many racing games have just kind of died. I'm a little bit sad with that. I do partially blame Microsoft, but the development as well for Forza Motorsport wasn't exactly good. Also, Tokyo Extreme Racer now is at a full release, which is exciting. I did watch a friend of mine earlier today stream that, as he is also a VTuber, and he was kind of playing through the second half of like the career mode and everything. That's really cool. It is really, really cool. I'm not gonna do any spoilers, but you get to see a return of quite a few familiar faces, which is very, very nice, very cool. Oh, all right, a little bit of a slide at the rear. But yeah, the inboard rear brakes. Welcome to Mac. Hope you're well. The inboard rear brakes. One of the last kind of main production vehicles to have inboard rear brakes was the Jaguar XJS, which had its design persisting until the mid-1980s, like around 86, 87. Was one of the last Jaguar vehicles to use the inboard rear brakes. So the inboard rear brake design persisted for quite some time, believe it or not. And it wasn't until, you know, advanced suspension technology really allowed for better, you know, the outboard rear brakes to, you know, not really have as much of an effective performance. As well as the advances in, you know, having, you know, ductwork and everything to cool rear brakes as well definitely would have helped, you know, the outboard rear brakes over the inboard rear brakes. And then of course maintenance and production costs too. You can't forget about that. Sometimes it is all about the money. Although one other vehicle with inboard rear brakes, it's one of the few relatively modern vehicles to have it, was the Hummer H1 of all things. Primarily to accommodate the unique portal gear system in the wheel hubs, which required additional ground clearance. So, very, very cool. Very, very cool there. But yeah, not too many after the Jaguar XJS really had the inboard rear brakes. A very kind of unique, kind of Jaguar specific thing. Racing was taking place in Japan. Yeah. We got Tokyo Extreme Racer, we got Forza Horizon 6. We got JDM as well, kind of. It's like a fictionalized Japan. Wonder what else. Now hopefully it doesn't turn into like an overhype of like Japan as well, but you know, at the same time, like having Japan as like a place to host a racing game, yeah, like it makes sense. You got the car culture, you got the street racing culture as well, the tuner culture and everything. You got a whole bunch of unique JDM models as well that other markets may not have necessarily gotten. You got K cars. You got a lot of options and everything with that. Yeah, you can definitely tell as well the 4.2 liter, slightly lower red line, a little bit more torquey as well. So you know the increase in displacement. There's a little bit of a trade-off. Same thing kind of happened with the Honda S2000 as well. We had a slight change in its. We had a slight change in it to fit more American markets and everything. A slight reduction in power for an increase in torque. For better drivability on American roads. Or to better fit the American markets. We get a couple more CCs with the Jaguar. Alright, easy there. You gotta remember, we are still on like 1960s tires. Although to be fair, the Damaso Pantera, granted it is on thicker tires, but it is also on like 1970s tires. So we kind of have a historic car battle going. The ground pounder battle. We got the big V8, the 351 cubic inch V8 versus our 4.2 liter inline 6. Although I think the mid-engine Damaso might end up beating us. Probably. It has a straight line speed. And it is a little bit more modern, a little bit more contemporary so it may have better handling because of that. What's up with stuff that are fake utopias in media? What do you mean by that? It's a really common trope. Can you give some examples? I'm not necessarily sure what you mean by that. Like fake utopias, as in like everything is so great until you like begin to peel back the shiny veneer, and then it's like evil dystopia incorporated or something. Or what do you necessarily mean by fake utopias? What do you mean, like kind of like the fictionalized, like utopia type of like societies, like Wakanda-esque type of thing, where it's like, here is how with totally fictional technology we can achieve the world peace or whatever, like Star Trek. New game is called Dietopia. It's basically everything is so great, but it's not really great. It's something like a giant worm ruling human. The fuck? I don't know. That's the first I've really heard of that type of stuff. Oh, Perfect Society is actually correct. Yeah, I don't know. That one's kind of weird. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why that's the case. But yeah, they kind of have that a lot. Like I remember, oh, what's the one show that has like Jinx in it? Oh, what is that show? Where it's like you start out with like the really like high end like aristocratic society, and like the further down you go and everything like that, like it's, you know, more kind of slums and everything like that. It's not an actual giant worm, it's just a hypothetical situation. It'd be funny if it was. Worm food. I mean, if more humans live, more humans die. And therefore, you know, the worms get to eat more or something. I don't know. Bahamirage. Ooh. Yeah, no, we're not beating a Corvette. We're not beating a Corvette. What other options we got? What other options we got? Ooh, inline 6 meeting at Autumn Mountain. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ooh, okay, we got a bunch of classic inline 6s. The Mercedes 200 SL, the Nissan Z. And then we got a couple of modern vehicles as well. Let's do it. Let's do it, chat. But yeah, when Jaguar went to the 4.2 liter engine, they made a couple other improvements as well, including a larger radiator, an improved radiator fan, and a more robust clutch, which addressed some of the reliability issues of the 3.8 liter earlier engine in the E-Type. This helped reduce overheating and improve durability, especially in hot climates, which America was kind of known for, and the increased stop-and-go traffic, which again, America was also known for. In addition, by the mid-1960s, Jaguar was facing increased competition from rivals like Ferrari and Porsche. So improving their, you know, Jaguar E-Type definitely helped them take the fight to the things like the Ferrari GTOs or like the Porsche 911s in the premium sports car market. Oh yeah, you're asking for like examples. Total Recall, Demolition. I remember Demolition Man. Highly recommend Demolition Man if you have not seen it today. It is a great movie. Demolition Man is great. I like Demolition Man. Alright, rear does want to go a little bit under braking. Yeah, remember this car. This is a car from the 60s. It had an advanced suspension system for the time. Not necessarily now. We got some decent power though. We're able to really hold off some of these Japanese cars, these 280 horsepower Japanese cars. We should be able to put up a good fight. I gotta be a little bit careful with the brakes. But yeah, the 4.2 liter increased torque from 240 foot-pounds to 283 foot-pounds, which slightly increased acceleration as well. Yeah, you thought you were gonna dive me on that chicane there. No can do, buddy. That ain't how that works. That ain't how that works. Alright, we need to be careful. The rear does want to be a little bit of a slidey punk through some of these turns. Ow. Hey, can you not just rear end me? 5-second penalty to Ocon. 5-second penalty to Ocon. Okay, alright, we got a little bit of a straight. We got to use that to our advantage, because we are slightly faster on the straights than that Toyota. We're lighter, and we got around the same amount of power. He was just doing a brake. My brakes worked fine without you rear-ending me. Oh gosh, alright, the BMW is fighting with the Toyota. That may allow us to extend our gap now. The downside of the BMW gets by the Toyota. That BMW is a lot more agile than the Toyota, which means we'll be fighting off even stiffer competition. I want to try to hold on to the second place. That Skyline is long gone. So, hopefully we can hold on to a second place. At the very least, I'm gonna fight for a podium. But either way, I'm gonna push as hard as I can in this thing without trying to light up the rears. Okay. Yeah, we have extended the gap. The downside is that BMW has gone past our Toyota now. So we got basically 1.5 laps thereabouts from now until the end of the race. But we gotta hold off a lighter, more agile opponent. And you can see in the twisty sections, they are gaining on us a lot quicker than that Toyota. They don't quite have as much straight line speed as the Toyota, but they are lighter, so they'll be able to carry a lot more speed out of the corners, which is going to make it very challenging for us. I'm trying not to light up my rears. I don't wanna put up a smoke show. I wanna keep my. I wanna be able to put the torque down to the road. There we go, all the way out to the exit. Yeah, on the straights we are able to pull a gap on that the Z4. One more lap. Come on. Nice and smooth there, Isaac. No problems, no issues. Run the racing line. Out, in, out. Yeah, the BMW behind us, much more modern. Beautiful lightweight roadster. Powered by a fairly powerful inline 6, naturally aspirated inline 6, unlike the turbocharged inline 6 of the GTR and the Aristo. Through the tunnel. There we go. Okay, we're good. We're good. Whoa! Hi there. I don't think that was gonna work. I had the right to the corner there, buddy. You can't just try to send it from that far back and then, you know. That was a desperate dive and a half. Holy moly. Oh my gosh. Okay. There we go. Very nice. Alright, that E-Type. That E-Type. It has served us well. Nice. Alright, got a weight reduction. Got us some grippier tires. Yeah, we should be good. Oh boy. Alright. Let's see what the next race is. What should we do for our next race? Oh, we got the high speed battle. Not a bad option. We can consider that. We can consider that. Good luck. Thank you, grazie. Ooh, let's take it to the Nordschleife. We got some grippier tires. Ooh, hey! We got a Jaguar starting up front, and we got a Jaguar starting at the very rear, the XKR 100. Let's go! But yeah, the E-Type, it had a notable, if albeit slightly limited presence in motorsport during the 60s. It wasn't designed necessarily originally as a dedicated race car, unlike things like the Shelby Cobra or the 250 GTO Ferrari. But with its powerful XK series engine and aerodynamic shape, as well as the advanced independent rear suspension, it was very capable in the hands of privateers. And you had specialized, modified, lightweight E-Types that didn't necessarily have full factory backing. They had more limited factory support. Shortly after launch, the E-Type showed promise in both the European and American sports car racing, where privateers like Graham Hill raced modified E-Types in GT races. In the Sports Car Club of America, the E-Types were primarily in the production sports car classes, mainly the C and B production classes, where it achieved class wins from the early 60s against things like the Corvettes, the Porsches, that type of stuff. So it had a decent, you know, racing success there. And this was back at the time when the SCCA had much bigger names. It was much more of like the stepping stone of sports car racing in the US. It's not the more grassroots motorsport it is now. It was, you know, the big cheese back then, or one of the big cheeses. We had a lot of legends that raced in those races at the time. Alright, down through the gears. Gotta be a little bit careful there. A little bit careful there. From the 1963 through 64, Jaguar, with help of privateers, developed the lightweight E-Type, a factory-supported, or a semi-factory-supported racing variant that was designed to help kind of allow it to compete against things like the Ferrari 250 GTO, which was one of the main rivals of the E-Type at the time. Only around 12 known examples were built, with a couple additional replicas being created as well by privateers. It had aluminum monocoque and aluminum body panels, which was a rarity at the time, which reduced weight from 2,900 pounds to just under 2,200 pounds, which is very, very impressive. That is a serious reduction in weight. It had a tuned 3.8 liter engine at the time, with mechanical fuel injection, or triple Weber carburetors depending on how it was optioned, as well as upgraded suspension, brakes, and other lightweight components to help reduce weight. Nowadays it is a very rare and sought after car, as one of those 12 can easily go for well over $1 million at auction. Oh gosh. Alright. Jaguar versus Jaguar. I'm not sure this battle will go on that long. I got the inside for the next corner. Yeah, I'm gonna run a defensive line. Yeah, that's right, you back out there, buddy. The XKR 100, come on. I'm gonna be the old guard putting up the fight against the young blood. I say the young blood, that's almost a 20-year-old vehicle now. Actually, I think that is a 20-year-old vehicle now. Oh gosh. I am old. I'm old. Oh, I should have braked earlier. Gotta remember, 60s brakes. Oh, that's gonna kill our acceleration out of that corner. Yeah, we had a massive reduction in exit speed there. Alright, come on, we have the suck. Okay, so 133, right? I did adjust the gear ratio for slightly more acceleration. Although even with this, we are up there with the XKR. Oh, this would have been a great picture. The XKR with the E-Type in tow. Two British Grand Tours of entirely different eras, nose to tail at the Nordschleife. That would have been so cool. Oh boy, alright. Through the carousel. Downside is we are gonna be bounced with the rev limiter a little bit down the Dottinger Hill. So gotta be a little bit careful there. So if we can get a solid podium position, I am all for that. I think we can. I'm pretty sure we can. Oh, down the inside. Ooh, he gave us a little bit of space. He didn't have to do that, but he did anyway. All right, now in a lot of these mid-high speed corners, it's all going to come down to driver skill. Really, it becomes a single line run through much of these corners. You can't really do a whole lot of overtaking. Easy. Easy. Oh boy. Oh boy. Little bit of a big slide there. Little bit of a big slide. We got this working. We got this working. We got this twerking. Oh, okay. Little bit spicy here. Okay, alright. The downside is that the XK100 behind us is gonna probably beat us on the long 1.2 mile straight, so we gotta be a little bit careful here. Alright, come on. Gotta at least pull a little bit ahead. As far ahead as we can anyway. Ah, there it goes. Yeah, there was no way we were gonna beat that. Oh gosh, 4th place is catching us as well. I see it on the mini-map. I think we'll be fine though. I say that they are still gaining speed. Whereas we are kind of stationary. Oh boy, come on, stick it on the podium. Okay, good. We should be fine. We got 2 corners left. 1 corner left. Bring it home. The final step of the podium. Yeah, boy! Let's go. Yeah, we beat the Skyline. Good, and not a GTR Skyline, but still a Skyline. Alrighty. Nice. Give us some power. More power, baby. More power. Very, very nice. Alright, what should we do for the next race? Ooh, new line 6 meeting. Could also race at low instinct. Now we'll do a race at Pacific Gateway. It's a 3 classics, 3 moderns. I like how these two basically have the same engine, the JZ series engine. Then of course we've got the 3-liter inline 6 of the BMW Z4. But the lightweight E-types had some pretty notable results as well. A little bit of a history. In the Sebring 12 hours, the lightweights achieved class podiums with the 1963 and 1964 Sebring 12 hours, with drivers like Ed Lothar and Bruce McLaren posting strong results against things like your Shelby Cobras and your Ferrari 250s. So very, very solid showing there. A lot of success at the 24 Hours of Le Mans. In 1963, privateers like Briggs Cunningham had initial pace, but struggled a lot with reliability. He had gearbox failure fairly on in the race, despite leading the GT class briefly in the 1963 Le Mans 24 Hours. They had also won a few races at both Goodwood and the Nürburgring as well during the time period. Later years, there was the 4.2 liter. Once the 4.2 liter engine was introduced, E-types continued to race via privateers, but their presence waned a bit as Jaguar began focusing on saloon car racing with things like the XJ12 as well as the V12 powered E-Type Series 3 of the early 70s. So it had a short, but still very notable motorsports presence, the E-Type. Definitely a lot more than the, believe it or not, more powerful DB5 Vantage had. One other issue that the E-Types did struggle with was the rear brakes overheating, as well as the complexity of the rear suspension system, as repairs for that would take a lot longer to repair compared to conventional rear suspension setups, which did result in the vehicle having a bit of issues when longer endurance races. In addition, one second. My apologies. I got a slight tickle in my throat there. I'm better now. Had to get a drink of water and clear my throat. You guys probably don't want to hear that. The other issue was that the E-types, the non-lightweight versions, were a lot heavier than the dedicated race cars like the 250 GTO. Oh gosh! All right, that was an entirely wrong line there. Don't read your notes when going through a high-speed sweeper, please, Isaac. And even the lightweight E-type was still slightly heavier than some of the lighter weight GT cars of the era. Yeah, you also had kind of the limited factory support and the stiff competition as well. Things like the Ferrari 250, the Shelby Cobra, the Porsche 911s, the Porsche 904s, which were much better optimized for track and racing conditions. So despite the limited factory support, it did achieve quite a bit of racing success in the hands of privateers, which is really, really cool. It just showed the potential of the E-type as well, and just how influential privateers were in making some some of these performance vehicles just legendary at the time. Oh, okay. A little bit of a twitch there. Alright, let's see if we can't catch back up to the BMW Z4. Sorry, back had to field all 5 stray cats. Oh no, the kitties! Welcome back, Adachi. The kitties have been fed. All beans are good beans. Speaking of which, did you see for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix last weekend? Did you see all the paddock cats that were hanging around and everything? Because Azerbaijan has a lot of like really friendly stray cats in the Baku city. And so with that, you know, a bunch of the drivers and even like the media and everything were all, you know, petting them and everything like that and taking pictures of the kitties. It was so cute. I hope a couple of them got adopted. I'd love to see, like, you know, the paddock kitties, you know, end up getting adopted by like a driver or like a media personality or what have you. Yeah. Apparently, like, there's a lot of stray cats, like friendly stray cats in like Baku City, and in Istanbul, Turkey as well. Apparently, it's a buddy of mine, the same buddy that was playing Tokyo Extreme Racer earlier today. He's from Turkey, and he kind of mentioned like, oh yeah, we got lots of like the really friendly stray kitties. I think his cat was originally a stray, and he adopted the kitty. I love cats. They're just so cute. And the cute little beans. Although this morning mine was a little bit of a punk. She it was 6 a.m. 6 a.m. I must have like taken off the covers or whatever. And I sleep, you know, shirtless. My cat jumped on my chest and began kneading my bare skin with claws, which wasn't a pleasant experience at 6 a.m. It was very painful. So I kind of had to like lift her off and be like, okay, I gotta move you. Tech is a big cat population. Yeah. Lots of kitty cats. And cute little beans. Cute little loaves. A little bit of air time. Some more air time. A little bit less air time. Brake before the snap-on sign, because the brakes on this aren't exactly great. Yeah, remember this is a vehicle with 60s technology. Bonk. All right, a little bit of a love tap there. There we go. Nice. All right, so let's see what else we got here. What other races can we do? This is probably one of those breeds I don't like. I have a love-hate relationship with them. On one hand, they're very smart dogs, and at least for me, they've always been very friendly. On the other hand, holy moly, are they loud, and they are drama queens. If you tell them no, if they do not get their way, they throw a temper tantrum. My neighbor, back when I was living with my parents, used to have a husky, and he was super friendly, especially in wintertime. He'd always be like really playful and everything like that. But holy moly. The one time his ball, because he was playing around with it, he accidentally knocked it under the neighbor's deck and he couldn't reach it. And he just howled. And howled. And howled. For like 40 minutes. Oh gosh, yeah, lunging. Yeah, okay. That's less good. That is less good here. Jeez. Yeah, that's a little bit crazy. Crazy. I was crazy once. Ooh, oh gosh. Got the V12 Vanquish against the Jaguar E-Type. Yeah, all it does is how that. Okay, so he's not like aggressive. Like, he'll like kind of like hop at you and everything, but he won't like actually like hurt you. So that's, you know, an annoyance, you know, he kind of like jump scare you and everything, but at least it's not like mean per se. It's not an active like threat per se, I guess. He's probably bored in his Ridge Motel. Yeah, I imagine he doesn't have a whole lot of like space to really like, get out the energy and everything. Yeah, I get that. On the bright side, he'd probably be very happy in like, you know, the area he lives in, you know, very harsh winters and everything. So he's got that going for him at least. He's probably like, yeah, snow. Yeah, boy, ice. Sub-zero temperatures, this is my jam. But yeah, with my neighbor Husky, when they did that, eventually I got so tired of it because I was in the middle of working. I was during the time when I was teleworking during the pandemic. I literally like took my lunch break, hopped the fence, and had to like army crawl under their deck to get the dog's ball back because it would not stop howling. And the neighbors were still at work because they were like essential employees. And it was horrible. And Maverick loves the snow. Oh, Maverick, that's a nice name. Top Gun. But he's in a place similar to the mine, minus. Yeah, that's fair. So hopefully gets lots of walks out today to, you know, burn off that husky energy. I just get a hose. Maybe. Just spray the dog. I mean, it was summertime. It probably helped cool him off. It was a good dog, though. A good doge. Uh-oh. Did my stream break? No. Okay. We are good. We are good. That was a YouTube break. Waterboard. No! Don't do that. Don't waterboard the dog. As crazy as it sounds, I had a dog and I didn't. Good. Don't waterboard your. I can't believe I'm saying that. If you told me 3 years ago that at some point I'd have to tell my viewers not to waterboard their pets. What the fuck is wrong with us? Yeah, we're not catching that V12 Vanquish. Second place it is then. The V12 is a little bit cheatsy. A lot more power than we can currently bring to the table. And still, we're putting up a fight. Gotta be a little bit careful. There we go, there we go. A little bit more speed. Back again to the left. Yeah, there we go. Alright, let's move it. Let's move it! Down brake just before the 50-meter board. Probably keep it in second, so we got a little bit of that torque from the large displacement in line 6. We should be fine, I think. Yeah, we should be fine. Oh, you said torque. I mean, kind of. Different kind of torque, though. T-O-R-Q-U-E, I think? My spelling is spelling. Basically, the twisting force of the engine. It's got the low end grunts. It is a workhorse. I didn't say workhorse engine. It's still got good power. It's still, you know, got a solid RPM. Red line for a car from the 60s with this beautiful inline 6 with the triple carbs. Very stand up a lot of the British Grand Tours at the time, because even the Aston Martin DB5 had a similar setup with the side draft carburetors. Alright, through the backwards Radion. Ooh, a little bit spicy. Right at the limit of grip for those rear tires. Boom, alright. Not a bad run. There we go. Very nice. Boop. There we go. There's some upgrades for us. One more race then. One more race and we'll be able to level it up to level 10. Alright, let's see what we can do. But we got the grippiest, boys. We got the grippiest of the tires. So let's see what we can put down. Yeah. Alright, what other options we got? English sports car meeting at Tsukuba. Alright, let's see what our competition is. A DB5, Lotus Esprit, Lotus Elise, so 2 Lotuses, Jaguar XKR 100, so 2 Jaguars, 2 Lotuses, an Aston Martin, and a TBR. The Subaru is going to be very quick. But I'm looking forward to it. Let's do this, chat. Let's do this. Oh gosh, that car is beautiful. That is just, that is a lovely machine. Gosh, I hope they add the E-Type to the GTA. It was in GTA San Andreas, the Roadster version, and then it like never appeared again. I absolutely love the look of the car. I would love for either Roadster or hardtop E-Type to make a return. There we go, there we go. Nice and smooth through here. Yeah, the Jaguar behind us. The XK100. Little bit spicy. But we should be able to hold it off. We are at a fairly high level tune. What GTA vehicle? It was in GTA San Andreas. I forget which one exactly. I forget what it was called. But it was, you use that vehicle when you're chasing down the pimp or the drug dealer. It was either a pimp or a drug dealer that had taken over Mad Dog's mansion. You use that to chase down the drug dealer. So if you want to search up that mission, you'll probably be able to find the link to the vehicle there. I forget what the exact name of the car is. I distinctly remember it because it's a convertible. It's a fairly good handling convertible as well, despite it being, you know, based off of such an old car. I'll have to look it up after the end of this race. I have to look it up after the end of the race. Because my mind is blanking on the exact vehicle name. But it is like an E-Type. I got 2 more laps to go, so about 3-ish minutes. You will get your answer then. Unless you're already looking it up. You could also probably look up Jaguar E-Type GTA San Andreas and probably get a link to the car. As it is very definitely based off of the E-Type, and I think even the wiki says it's based off of the E-Type. I can't remember. I can't remember what it is. My mind is blanking. It is genuinely bothering me now. Yes, the Windsor. Okay, yes. That one. Yes, I'm pretty sure that's it. It ended up becoming a Bentley or Rolls Royce in GTA 5, but it used to be an E-Type in San Andreas. I'm pretty sure. Holy moly. Thank you for that. But yeah, that one, that's pretty close to an E-Type convertible, I'd say. It's probably, compared to any other like vehicle it could be based off of, it's probably mostly closely based off of the Jaguar E-Type. There isn't too many other vehicles that could really be more closely related to. And it is such a beautiful car. It is a beautiful machine. There we go, a little bit of straight line speed onto the brakes. Round the final turn for the final time, at least in the E-Type. And then we will have unlocked a whole new plethora of vehicles to race. Whole new collection, whole new choice. Sorry, I apologize. I just got a message. Alright, let's do this. Alright, so let's get this thing leveled up to level 10. And then we'll have unlocked a new catalog of sports cars to race. Sporty cars. Yeah, the E-Type did us pretty well. It got us a lot of points. Windsor, GTA San Andreas. I'm gonna look that up as well, just to double check. Yeah, the Windsor. Very, very much based off of the E-Type. Kind of a little bit of the Alfa Romeo Spider. Kind of, but not entirely. Zero, welcome. Hello, Isaac. Hello, everyone. You doing well? Yeah, doing pretty good. We're vibing right now. We are enjoying some of the last of the sporty cars of Enthusia. We don't have a whole lot left. We got most of these vehicles at level 10. And we're about to choose our next vehicle. We got 6 options to choose from. And we are gonna let the random number generator decide. Let us pull that up. Pull up the random number generator. Where is the display? There's a display capture. There we go. Alright. If it is a 1, it is the Z33 Nissan Z. If it is a 6, it is the A86. every number in between coincides with the car in between. It is a 6! Which means we get the tofu machine. We get to drive the Hachiroku, the AE86. Very nice. Ooh. This is I'm gonna be a stereotype. And also, I'm sure Selena would absolutely love me, you know, doing it in those colors as well. But he has the AE86, the legendary Initial D car. Let's do this. Alright, let's get a few things adjusted first, just to make better use of the vehicle here. How are you doing tonight, Zero? Hopefully you're well. Are the rims gold on that? I'm not sure. It may have been an option at the time. Let me double check this. 6 gold rims. Okay, so the it is a factory option for either silver or gold/bronze colored 4-spoke rims. So with that, you did have a choice. So you could. This is the one that has the factory gold spoke rims. Doing pretty well, thanks. Just trying to get working my open wheel formula skills as well as my safety rating on iRacing. Ooh, nice. You doing oval open wheeling or are you doing road course open wheeling? I think I saw you doing some ovals the other night. In the track chat. I feel like myself the 3 months of mental health issues, so I'm on the mend. Nice, awesome stuff. Which means hopefully you'll be in an absolute tear for Nürburgring. So unfortunately, I'm not gonna be able to race there with you on track. But I'm wishing everyone the best of luck. Hopefully no issues in turn 1. I'm a little bit scared with that, with it being wet. Both the ENIAC and XT and otherwise road mix of F4 Super Formula. Oh gosh, going for all the open wheel stuff. Very nice. Welcome Petra, brought a CRX. Ooh, nice. Congratulations on buying the CRX. Hopefully it treats you well. I almost bought a CRX, a Del Sol, back in college. Unfortunately, I had no place to store it, and I wanted to save up a little bit of money. But yeah. Oh my gosh. All right, let's drive the Hachiroku, the Sprinter Treno. We got another Sprinter Treno as well with starting in 4th place. Hey, open wheel was my preferred discipline, and the one I wish to master those. Okay. See, for me, my main go-to is GT and touring car stuff. I do much better in lower downforce than high downforce stuff. Feeling good about the Nürburgring race. The race wasn't too hard for managed most practice done so far. Just gotta focus on fireball. Yeah, that's probably the key. I imagine there's gonna be a lot of chaos in the opening lap. So if you can keep your nose clean and kind of, you know, run defensive for a little bit until you get some clean air and then push, that'll probably be the way to go. Oh, yeeted it around the Beetle. Let's make fun of the A86 Pro. That's definitely an interesting comparison to make between the CRX and the 86 compared to it's a completely different drivetrain, but alright. But yeah, this thing, it's lightweight, around 900 to 970 kilograms. Very, very lightweight, partially due to, you know, the fairly simplistic interior, and also due to the live rear axle, which does affect handling a little bit over uneven surfaces. Thankfully, Mustang's a tank, so we can take some hits to some innocence that crashing on me. True. Just still gotta be careful. Yeah, also make sure you have a wet strategy and a dry strategy set up. At least for the central pit stop. The practice sessions I was on when setting up the NSX for some of my teammates, it had a little bit of a lot of variability. I didn't really stay one thing or the other for too long. So I got a lot of data in a very short time frame, but I didn't get a whole lot of consistency in that time frame either. So I'm hoping the setup works well. I try to make it a little bit more stable. The final chicane, the Beetle chicane, is going to be a little bit tough for the NSX. I think no matter how I set it up, it did not like the curbs on the inside of either the chicane there. So yeah. Very good, Manes. I have good sets with dry and wet, so I'm prepared for anything. Nice, nice. Yeah, for both of those, just make sure you have one a strategy to go from dry to wet, or from wet to dry as well. You could probably use the tire pressures you use from your wet setup for the second option for the dry and everything. Then a dry track practice. I've been practicing running a wet setup just in case it sets a rating but dries in a race and vice versa. Yeah, honestly, my personal philosophy is just with the high chance of being either fully wet or mixed, I'd go just starting with the wet setup. Even if it ends up being dry full race. That I'll sort out too. Hell yeah! Very nice. But yeah, with the high chances, around like a 66% chance that there's gonna be some rain sometime in the race, either full time or at least partially mixed conditions. So with that, you know, you got better odds of practicing in the wet and everything and getting used to that. Welcome, Corio. I hope you're well. I like the Diablo Stallion and Mafia Center for GTA 3. I like the Diablo Stallion. I like the flame decal in that. That's always really cool. Really meticulous when it comes to preparing and planning for the race. Awesome. I try to be ready for everything that's possible to prepare for. Yeah, you can't prepare for everything, but yeah, no, it is. It's with a variability like this. It becomes a lot more stressful for people like us. But this is also where people like us end up being prepared when other people that just kind of wing it, you know, end up, you know, messing themselves up and putting themselves at a disadvantage. That's how I was able to get a podium at TGT at Indianapolis earlier the year. In flooded conditions, just because I like obsessively practiced in flooded. Wasn't guaranteed to be flooded, but I obsessively practiced for the worst conditions. And the race just happened to be in flooded conditions, so I knew how to handle it. Plus also Indianapolis is like one of my better tracks, so. But yeah, I'm hoping for the best. You should have a decent knowledge of Nürburgring already, because you have driven on it quite a bit before, I think. Because you did it for the GP circuit, not the GP circuit, the Nordschleife quite a few times. So yeah, you know, in the GT3 beta, Diablo Simons were just supposed to be in Infernus. Like a Diablo Infernus? That'd be kind of cool. Although having a gang car also be like a supercar kind of gets rid of a little bit of the what's the word I'm looking for? A little bit of the kind of, I guess, realism, not necessarily realism, but like immersion. Yeah, that's the word I'm looking for, the immersion. Ooh, it's a Cuba. Yes, this car should do fairly well here. But yeah, we got the 3-door hatchback with the pop-up headlights, distinguishing it from the 11 with the fixed, the larger front grille and the fixed beam headlights. Got the McPherson struts up front, live axle coil strings in the rear, coil springs, not with coil strings, and a somewhat powerful 4A GE engine with 130 horsepower. The 4A GE engine on this uses a variable intake system, where at lower RPM, an actuator forces the air into the long runners on the intake manifold for improved torque. And then at higher RPMs, the actuator opens and it closes the long runners and opens up the short runners for better air velocity and helping create a ram air effect at higher speed, which improves high-end power. So you get a little bit of the best of both worlds. It's kind of similar to the system used on the Z33 Nissan Z, although the one on the Z there is a variable system, whereas the one on the AE86 is binary. You either get one or the other, whereas the Z gradually opens and closes the long runners and the short runners depending on RPM and throttle position. This is basically immediate swap from one to the other. There we go. Very nice. Alright, let's see if we can't keep the second place. We got the agility. The Tsukuba usually benefits vehicles that are lightweight and have some pretty solid traction. And with the very lightweight AE86, you know, 900 kilograms, around 970 kilograms, depending on trim and options, we are, you know, on the lighter side of the grid, able to have a much more nimble vehicle. You really only have a few power spots, so you really want, you know, the overall handling. And because it's fairly flat and smooth, you don't have to worry necessarily as much on what the live rear axle, the non-independent rear suspension does, as you don't have necessarily the emphatic camber changes on both the left and right side wheels when you go over a bump. Only thing you gotta really worry about is a slight tendency towards oversteer with the live rear axle, as it doesn't really support high speed turns that much. But you really only have 2, maybe 3 at Tsukuba. Most of them are fairly low speed hairpins. So honestly, the A86 of all the Japanese tracks is probably best suited for Tsukuba. This thing, it was fairly competitive for its day in tarmac rallies as well as in grassroots motorsports, being able to really hold its own against other vehicles within its class. JB, welcome. Me taking a Tylenol and suddenly having an interest in trains. Ah, welcome my fellow Tylenol American. No, seriously though, Isaac Umbras disclaimer, please do not abuse any sort of over-the-counter or pharmaceutical drugs. I beg you. If nothing else, it has been proven that overuse can genuinely damage your liver. So please, for the sake of your liver, do not overdose on that type of stuff. All right. Remember, the Diablo Infernus got left for a mission. And found again. Ooh, interesting. That's pretty cool, actually. But no, genuinely, as someone with a background in both mechanical and chemical engineering, you do even over-the-counter stuff. I highly recommend you take, you know, you read the warning label, you be, you know, extra careful with that type of stuff, because there are, in short doses and everything like that, as intended, it's, you know, for the most part pretty safe. But either long-term chronic use or abuse or overuse can cause genuine long-term health effects. So please, I beg you, read the material safety data sheets of medicine and other chemicals you may be dealing with, either cleaning chemicals or pharmaceutical chemicals or anything like that. Me using ibuprofen for the crack in my skull. I have a headache. take it as recommended as by a doctor, please. Let's take a knock. Yeah, try to avoid any kind of long-term narcotic or painkiller abuse either. Please. Not even a trick I had to for last night. Yeah, as long as you're using it as like as recommended and everything like that, that's fine. But like, don't overuse, please. I sound like the guy at the end of like a medicine commercial. Talk to your doctor if such and such medicine is right for you. Do not think you're pregnant. Yeah, no, don't try to avoid the narcotics as well if you can. But anyway, change the topic. I also forgot to change the subtitle text. Rip. Anyway, the AE86. I got its nickname the Hachiroku due to its chassis code, as Hachiroku is Japanese for 86. Now, it became a major icon through motorsports, mainly drifting, but also in grassroots sports car racing in the 1.6 liter category in its time. Very lightweight, very controllable, near perfect weight distribution with a 53-47 front to rear weight distribution, and very would do you know, very solid in drifting, in you know, grassroots level motorsport and everything. You also have that very highly tunable 4AG engine that could handle things like turbocharging, supercharging, or even things like individual throttle bodies without too much issue. Yeah, changing the awkward topic for the win. Anyway, there we go. We got a solid second place with the AE86. Very nice. Although due to the cult status, this is the delete button, you know. It's fine, whatever. It is what it is at this point. Hang on a second, I got a message. Anyway, Forza 6 confirmed for Japan. Hell yeah! Good stuff. I'm looking forward to it. Can't wait for 6 mile ride roads. Honestly, I hope they have tighter, more technical roads. I am genuinely hoping that, especially after the much more like very open world of Forza Horizon 4 and Forza Horizon 5, that Japan is a little bit more technical, a little bit more, you know, kind of more focused on like the road cars and everything like that, mountain passes and everything. I really hope that, all that stuff. Confirmed Tokyo being in the game. Nice. All right, good stuff there. I hope they had a lot of like JDM cars as well. I know they were already scanning a decent amount of the like Japanese K cars and everything. Ooh, what are we up against? A Civic Type R. They are nice. Based. Yeah, give me my ABC of Japanese K cars. The AZ1, the Suzuki Cappuccino, and the Honda Beat. Also, maybe the Copen. I want to be Copen, Seethen, and Malden. Alright, what are we up against here? Ooh, two 80s Toyotas against each other. This is gonna be fun. I know it's a stereotype. I don't care. We're doing Mountain Pass racing in the AE86. They're gonna be doing some old ones too with what they have. Yeah, hopefully they fix the S15. God, the fact that they reused that one. Hopefully they fix the Evo 6 as well. That one is very... It looks like it kind of got stung by a bee. Very kind of bulbous. But they got a lot of JDM cars, both, you know, mainstream and kind of more obscure that they could really use and lean into. They got a lot of car culture as well, so I'm hoping, you know, they don't just do the Papa Fernando Vocho, mi hermanos, like they did with Forza Horizon 5. There is more to Mexican car culture than just the Vocho. It's something to eat in my house and I'm starving. Oh jeez, man. Sorry to hear that. Hopefully you're able to get, you know, get some groceries soon and everything. If you want, I can try to create some budget-oriented like recipes that are quick and easy and, you know, fairly healthy and stuff like that. I got a couple already from some of my cookbooks, as well as personal experience as a formerly very broke-ass college student. Got zero. Ah, jeez. That makes things very tricky. I can work with a little bit of money, a very small amount of money, but no money makes it a little bit challenging. I do hope that works out for you, man. Maybe double check to see if there's any local like food pantries or like soup kitchens. That makes things tricky. But yeah, I hope that works out for you, man. I know it's never poverty ain't fun. Poverty ain't fun. Yeah, churches as well. Yeah, that's a good one as well. A lot of times they do things. You know, different kind of like charity meals and everything like that. Must have a thing on Reddit where they can help you get food that way too. True. Oh, that is a tough. Outside of that, it's tough. But I'm hoping that works out for you, man. I don't know how to transition from that. Anyway, let's. Oh god, man, I'm sorry to hear that. I'm hoping, at the very least, I can provide a little bit of like entertainment and everything, and you know, give you at least a little bit to, you know, help take, you know, so some of, you know, the worry away and everything. Yeah, that's the shit post. But no, I apologize. I don't know how else to effectively help. Yeah. Skibbity. Yeah. Skibbity A86. We deja vuing. No tears or fears, everybody wants to rule the world. Only deja vu. Nothing but deja vu. The best deja vu. Because I just been in this place before. Speaking of the A86. Believe it or not, some of them did have an optional Torsen LSD, which basically Torsen, it's short for torque sensing limited slip differential, and unlike other limited slip differentials that utilize clutch packs to ensure some front wheel drive, the E86s. I'm not sure about that. I think those were later ones, like the AE101s and everything. But I might be wrong. I could entirely be wrong. I've been wrong before. I could probably be wrong again. I was wrong earlier today. I'll probably be wrong later. But yeah, it came with a Torsen limited slip differential, which uses worm gears and friction in order to effectively split torque. For the more economy-oriented ones. Yeah, those I think are like the AE96 and AE101s, I think. But with the Torsen limited slip differential, it has these core components. It's got worm gears on each rear axle that's connected to a worm gear, which is a screw-like gear. You have worm wheels that mesh with the worm gears and are connected to the central spurs of the rear differential. Then you got the housing that houses the drive part of the drive shaft, and has the gear assembly and everything, and it's filled with the gear oil, usually a very thick, high weight, like 70W90 oil, which functions as a lubricant as well as a coolant or a heat sink, which I'll get to in a little bit. And in addition, these Torsens have a torque bias ratio, TBR, of somewhere between 2 to 1 and 3 to 1, depending on manufacturing tolerances in the AE86, which determines how much torque can be sent to the wheel with a better grip. Is that a JoJo reference? It might be. Everything's a JoJo reference nowadays. But how it worked was essentially, when you had equal grip, which is primarily during straight line driving, both rear wheels would act like an open differential, splitting the torque 50-50 between the left and rear wheels, and the worm gears would be able to rotate freely, as both the wheels were spinning at the same speeds. But when you had unequal grip, when you with cornering, slipping, or drifting, when one of the wheels loses traction, the Torsen's mechanically senses the torque difference, and the wheel with the less grip tries to spin faster. This results in the worm gears design resisting the torque difference via friction, which then locks it up partially, resulting in both the left and right side wheels spinning at equal rates, and also then having a torque multiplication, sending more torque to the wheel with the more grip. Which is really, really cool how it does that without any fancy computers or anything like that. Just pure mechanical design that uses friction to essentially allow you to drift better, or give you more traction out of the corners and everything. Now, the key advantage is that unlike the clutch type of limited slip differential, the Torsen is smooth and progressive because the friction is smooth and progressive. You don't have the abrupt on off like a clutch does. So it results in much more predictable handling. In addition, with it being purely mechanical, it doesn't require nearly as much maintenance as the electrical clutch-based limited slip differential, which has things like clutch packs as wear components, as well as sensitive electronics that can go bad, which made it cheaper and lighter to install. The downside with this is because it is friction-based, is that during hard driving, it does result in heating up the gear oil, which can result in reduction of the viscosity of the oil, meaning that that oil then lubricates less and less effectively as it breaks down with the heat. In addition, that friction does result in wear on the worm gears, as well as potentially can cause thermal expansion of the liquid as well. which can potentially cause issues in the differential housing. So ways that they managed that in racing application was to use a higher grade and higher weight gear oil, or in higher grade synthetic gear oil that had better heat resistant properties. In addition, they would redesign the housing in racing applications with aluminum cooling fins, which increase the surface area of the differential case housing, which then results in better forced convection, basically air blowing on it, heat transfer, as there is more surface area for the air to come in contact with, which then resulted in better cooling. Even still, while the Taurus and differentials are better in lower power applications, once you get into the higher power ranges, you're better off with the clutch pack, as those generate a lot less heat. But in a lower power car like the Hachiroku, the AE86, the Taurus and limited slip differential worked fairly well for what it was trying to do as a budget option. Granted, there are some exceptions. The Audi Quattro Rally cars did have Taurus and limited slip differentials as well, with their 500 or 600 horsepower options. But they were also running some very, very high weight gear oil and had fairly advanced cooling designs, which allowed Audi to use Taurus and limited slip differentials during the Group B era when they were producing 500, 600 horsepower. But nowadays, a lot of the performance vehicles with limited slip differentials use electronic clutch packs, as the price of those has gone down a little bit, and you do have a reduction in heat generated. Oh yeah, known as the final boss in new Tokyo Stream Racer. Or put a full Y bonus car now because 500 kilometers. 500 kilometers an hour. Damn, that's quick. That's what in freedom units. That's what, 300 miles an hour? 310 miles an hour. Okay, I wasn't that far off, actually. That's crazy. Bro is literally... It's an instant hit trap. Yeah, I'd imagine his AI can't quite cope with that. I imagine his AI struggles with that. Very, very nice. Anyway, we got some upgrades. All right, next race. Let's do this. We didn't even enter shop as Z2 as it says the manganese. Oh gosh. So it's still got the V6 there. Wait, no. Which Z was it? Oh, the manga win. Okay, so it's the inline 6. Okay, got it. All right. The battle of the pop-up headlights. Let's do it. Miata versus Hachiroku. Let's do it. We're gonna be deja vuing all over this biznatch. Like, how is Unknown not blown his engine? I imagine at that point he has probably sacrificed his soul to some eldritch abomination. And that is what is keeping that engine together. But yeah, that is very fast. Then again, I have seen players on the Tokyo Extreme Racer subreddits where once they get the maxed out vehicles, they're able to do like 250, 260 kilometers an hour. So it's not that big a speed gap, all things considered. They could probably go even quicker with some tuning as well. Like, I imagine, like, a maxed out R35 is probably, like, one of the fastest straight line speeds in the game. Or among them. Just because it already has the high base power and heavy modability of that V6. I've heard the LFA can actually get a lot of power too, but the LFA is, like, ridiculously expensive. When he has a wide body kit, he needs the rubber. Yeah, dude's probably pushing, like, 1,200 horsepower or more. Deja vu, I've been in this place before. LFA can fit 500 as well. Nice. All right, so at least it's not like unfair. You got a fairly equal. Got a fairly equal, you know, chance against him, and you're probably better at, you know, not hitting the traffic cars compared to him. It's not like in Tokyo Extreme Zero, we can literally go faster than some of the fastest cars in the game with max upgrades. It's a lot more, you know, balanced, I think. Which is good. As much as I love the earlier Tokyo Extreme Racer games, I will admit at times, they were genuinely unfair to the point where the AI could do stuff the player legitimately couldn't. Tokyo Extreme Racer 2025 is hard, from what I've gathered, but it's at least, like, fair hard. Like, the AI can't do anything that you can't do. Unknown is unmatched in acceleration has to do with that speed. With that car. Oh. Okay, so he's still a little bit cheatsy. Fair. There we go. Only a couple corners left, and we are absolutely stunting on this Miata. I mean, yeah, fair. Bro is just built different. Bro is the Eldritch Abomination. Bro is literally Cthulhu. Cthulhu Flagargan. Alright, only a couple corners left. There we go. There we go. Pretty sure it's the same plate as the 1 good minute. Base. I mean, he is pretty much... I think, you know, with him being like almost a direct reference to the Devil Z, it wouldn't surprise me if he had the exact same plates. It legit wouldn't surprise me. It legit wouldn't surprise me. There we go, a little bit more power. Nice. Yeah, ranking number is decreased just a little bit. Fair enough. Fair enough. Negging unknown, my team in Streets of At that point, yeah, you will be completely untouchable. Ooh. YOLO. Let's do the backwards Tsukuba circuit race. The rear wheel drive challenge. Let's see what this little Hachiroku can do. Three, 2, 1. Let's go. Let's send it. Oh, okay. There we go. We're good. And braking probably here. Alright, that's not bad. That's not bad at all. Alright, the Fiat Abarth down on the inside. Gotta be a little bit careful. Just more low for him. Awesome. Yeah, I don't want too much spoilers though. I have not played the game yet. I am probably gonna get it, and I'll probably play it maybe next year. Probably. I think that'll be the plan. Maybe. I already know I got a lot of games set up to play before the end of this year. So a lot of the routes of the 21s. Yeah, I know that one. Like I know, so I've already been spoiled that Jinte comes back, which is a little bit unfortunate. I mean, it's great that he's back. I love Jinte, but yeah, not gonna spoil anything else. Thank you. Yeah, I'm not gonna say anything else either. But a lot of returning rivals. Oh, the lightweight battle. We got the inside hanging to the hairpin. I will say that rear engine nature of the Abarth, as well as being super lightweight, that is going to make it very difficult to race against. Got the inside line for this corner. Yeah, you back out. I don't know what Jinte drives. That has been spoiled for me, but I'm not going to spoil it for you. Am I going to try another JRPG? Unfortunately, probably not. As much as I love playing the JRPGs and everything, there is a lot of racing games I really want to try. Or, like, replay. It's been forever since I played some of these, so I wanna do that. Just because it's fun. So, like I said, no way of playing the game myself. It's not a Skyline, and it's not as Impreza. That is all I'm gonna say. You can find it on the Tokyo Extreme Racer subreddits. Juries and Lagunas and Racing JP. That is true. I could maybe do that. It's good since you're playing games. I mean, for playing games, it's kind of more so just to have like a little bit of like a challenge run on some of the games that like I really enjoyed and wanted to replay again, but didn't want to just replay them vanilla. Just because it's kind of fun to do some like challenge runs, like the 1-car challenge and the prize code. The prize code challenge in Midnight Club 3, believe it or not, really kind of changed my thought process when playing that game and everything. And it made me, I don't know, I could maybe see that game in a different light. It gave me a lot more enjoyment of the game, believe it or not. But it doesn't, I mean, you could probably look that up. Also, there is a certain VTuber. I'm not gonna name names, but there is a literal VTuber that is in Tokyo Extreme Racer as well as a rival, which is really cool. I am not gonna name names, but she did announce it on her stream. And, yeah. So, Tokyo Extreme Racer and Genki have an official collaboration with a VTuber. Definitely me. I wish it was me. Bruh. If I ever... That makes him not your rival. Fair. I don't watch many VTubers. It is a corporate VTuber. Non-independent VTuber. That is a Japanese VTuber who also has a penchant for cars. And she loves her RX-8s. That is all I'm gonna say. You corporate. To be fair, she seems like an absolute sweetheart. And she genuinely, it's not like just like a, just to have a corporate VTuber in there. Like, she genuinely loves and has a decent knowledge of cars. So, she's of like the sponsorships and collaborations, like I'm much more in favor of that because she actively, is a fan of cars and tuner culture and everything. Stop watching corporates, I don't know. It's Rindo, I forget how to pronounce the last name. but from Hololive. Rindo Chihaya, I think that's how you pronounce the name. It's her. So she's gonna appear as a rival. And she gets to drive an RX-8. Which is really cool. Like, honestly, I don't know, she's one that even though I don't fully, like, I don't really speak, I don't Nihongo, I still watch her as much as I can, more so through clips and everything. And, like, when she found out, she was super giddy. She could not contain her excitement. I think the only cover VTubers I know are the guy. Fair enough. Can he beat Tokishimura's The Cappuccino 2025 edition for me eventually? Maybe. I know a friend of mine, Ivano, is thinking about maybe sometime in the future streaming the Toyota FJ only run. You know, the FJ Land Cruiser. That SUV. He's planning on doing that as a run. Big combo. Yeah, it's like slime light. And there's like some damage increase buffs as well. But yeah, he uses those perks, I know. And then EM for the jump. Yeah, fair. Actually, I think I posted the Reddit link to the announcement that they were collabing with the one Hololive girl already on a Discord, so I guess it's not that much of a spoiler. I hope so. That would make some of the slower cars a lot more viable, I think. Like, imagine rotary swapping like an AE86. Oh yeah, we got the grippy boys. We got the grippy boys. Reddit. To be fair, it was a Tokyo Extreme Racer Reddit, but it was cross-posted to the Hololive Reddit as well. I think I got banned from. Oh gosh. Ooh. Alright, what are you up against? A Camaro! Alright, let's do it! Can the Hachiroku beat the Camaro? Tommy Smoggy Thompson with the V12 Supra. That would honestly be a cool engine swap. A nice reference to, you know, the actual top secret Supra. There we go, we got the handling of the Camaro that the Camaro doesn't have. And hey, we both have a live rear axle. It's just this was, you know, two decades older at the time this game came out. I mean, it's still 2 decades older than the 4th gen Camaro, but you know, still. America, live rear axles forever. I say that shortly after this game came out, a lot of American cars did make the switch to independent rear suspension finally. But getting banned on Reddit isn't too fair. I can't even count how many subreddits I've been banned from just for participating in like other subreddits, and they're like, ew, we don't like that one. So regardless of how you interacted on that subreddit, we're gonna ban you from this one. Reddit is such cringe. I mean, it's useful, and I like it when subreddits have like under 10,000 users. But like once a subreddit gets over 10,000 users or gets a power moderator, it just turns into shit. I think they did it for money reasons and drag. Yeah, fair. It's lighter, it's cheaper. You have much more durability on that as well. I got banned for a month because I said no matter what you say to that guy. Wow. I think my original Reddit account, I got banned, like perma-banned from Reddit, because I reported someone who was making active sexual threats to like their sibling. And one of the Reddit moderators said that was, an admin said that was abusing the report tool and perma-banned me from Reddit. And so you gotta love Reddit. Reddit is filled with probably some of the worst of the worst. I still use it though, unfortunately. I never got banned for report. Oh, I have. Oh my god, I have. It's horrible. It's a Russian animated lady around on a bunch of out. What? I don't even know what to make of that sentence. Be like Eggman and have 70 alternative accounts. You fool! I already have 70 alternative accounts! Oh, Lada. Okay. I'm like, you made a lady do what with power draws? Hey, yo. I don't have a Reddit. Based. Honestly, we should all aspire to be like Ford Shelby GT. Don't go to Reddit. It'll consume your soul. It'll consume your soul. Yeah, no, you don't need a Reddit account. You're not missing out on anything. Autocorrect really changing there to the... Yeah, I was genuinely wondering what the heck you were talking about with that. And I was really scared that I was gonna have to, like, you know, bonk you with a hammer. But no, Lada. Yeah, Lada makes sense. Lada makes a lot more sense. Lada makes a lot of more sense. I can't believe I just said that pun. That is terrible. That is terrible, Isaac. Also going to Reddit when the GPT websites stop having $500 off. Fair. Alright, we got 5 options. If it's a 1, it's a Z33. If it's a 5, it's a Toyota Sports 800. Let us pull up the random number generator. Alright. Let's make it 1 to 5. 3. Alright. That is the Ken Mary Skyline. That is the Ken Mary Skyline. The ill-fated Skyline 2000 GTR. It's a very rare machine. Ooh. Ooh. What color should I put it in? Alright, chat. I am giving you the choice. Which color? Red. Alright, got 1 at red. 2 at red. Eiji Sushi said the Chimeras is for... That is crazy considering there's only like a couple hundred made. Alright, we got 3 votes. It is possible. It is possible that we could make it equal. Give it 1 more minute, but we're leaning towards red. I mean, that red does look nice. Yeah, basically like 196 made. So if Keiichi Tsuchiya had one, that is a very rare vehicle that's worth a whole lot of money now. It's all I'm saying. All I am saying. Alright, we're going Oh, okay, it just went half and half. Okay, well, red was the first one to get to that number of votes. So my favorite color. I'm sorry, Zero. You know what? You know what? You know what? Can we? Fine, we'll make it silver. We'll make it silver. It was 50-50. Either or. Some say it was a sunny though, but Keiichi himself said, yeah, if it was a sunny, that makes a little bit more sense. Anyway, let's get a little bit of adjustments going. Oh, we do have a luminescent differential. Very nice. But yes, this is the second generation GTR made in 1973. Ultra rare. And was the ill fader. Or was Goat Trip to Reese? I mean, it went to half right at the very end. And I'm like, you know how it is. Oh gosh. Look how the camera looks. Yeah, it had a very more American styling, and that's kind of what they went with as well, where they kind of even in the marketing for it, that featured a Western couple named Ken and Mary cruising scenic routes in the car, which was designed to be a bit more luxurious, kind of more muscle car inspired. Very, very nice. It used the same mechanical underpinnings of the Hakosuka Skyline, with slightly more aerodynamic body. It was unveiled in January of 1973 as part of the redesigned C110 Skyline chassis codes, which was debuted in 1972. And it was inspired by a lot of the American cars, like the Buicks and Lincolns. It even had the iconic surfing line that a lot of the American cars had as well. All the Japanese sports cars tended to look like the American muscle pony cars then. Yes, for example, the older Galant GTO, or like the earlier '60s Celicas. Yeah, they had very American-inspired design. This has a 2-liter inline-6 with triple Solex carbs. It was the last GTR to use this, but it's the same engine, same power as the Hakosuka. Producing around 160 horsepower at 7,000 RPM. Had front struts and rear semi-trailing arms. Yeah, the Celica, especially, gosh, the Celica was gorgeous. I absolutely love that era's Celicas. The Ken Mary's genuine favorite, second favorite Japanese car. So what is your favorite? Isn't that like the MR2? I know you've shown your fondness for the MR2 in the past. RX-3 looks... See, I got a soft spot for the RX-3. Now, part of that might be because in my formative high school and college years, I have worked on quite a few different rotaries. And therefore, I kind of have an affinity for them. But I kind of like the RX-3. The BN R32 Nismo. Ooh, alright, good choice as well. But honestly, I'm hoping that if we ever get another Need for Speed, I would love a kind of vintage JDM DLC. Having things like the Datsun, what? Datsun 100, I think it was? No, what was it? The Datsun 510, sorry, the Datsun 510. Things like the Mazda RX-3. Things like the, the Savannah RX-7, the SA22 Savannah RX-7. Like that type of stuff. That would be super cool to have as like some options. My favorite is DC2 and Fizz is the Evo 1 of all the Evos. Why the first Evo? Me personally, of all the Evos, my favorite is still either the Evo 5 or Evo 6. Probably the Evo 6. Once it started becoming a little bit more streamlined and larger with the Evo 7, I didn't like them as much. I mean, they're still great vehicles. It started the legend, I also prefer the body, so fair enough, fair enough. What other vehicles would fit a historic JDM? Oh, the AT, the Wonder Civic. The 83 Civic. That one would be a good one to add. It's also among the light, that's fair. But it also had the least amount of power as well. So you sacrifice a little bit of power for a little bit of weight savings. I don't know, 6.5 dozen the other. You could probably make a case for most of the Evos for being your favorites. That with the 2000 GT. Oh yeah, I absolutely. That is among one of my favorite cars of all time. I mean, yeah, it is, but it's an early 4G63 with the 5-bolt pattern. And so it had the issues with the crank walk, if memory serves correctly. Yeah, BNR32 is a good choice. I could definitely see why that would be a favorite for a lot of people. I don't know, 2000 GT is definitely, if it's not my favorite, it's definitely in my top 5. Alongside the Ferrari 550 Barchetta, the FC Mazda RX-7, probably the Ferrari Testarossa as well, the 80s one, and then probably the C6 ZR1 Corvette, maybe. And generally for front engine vehicles, especially front engine Gran Turismo. Ooh, the DB9 convertible as well is a good one. That might be a wildcard pick to replace one of those, depending on how I'm feeling that day. It has to be the convertible though. The OG NSX. Yeah, that one's a good option as well. Yeah, for purely Japanese cars, it's probably the 2000 GT in first, the FC RX-7 in second, and in third, I might go with the R34 Skyline. Maybe. It's hard to pick between the R32s, R33s, and R34s for the Skylines. There's a lot of good options, I think. All right, we got time for probably one more race. One more race. So let's do this. Whatever up. options. Yeah, let's do the Japanese car race at Autumn Hill. This is gonna be a fun one. This is gonna be a fun one. Final race of the night. Beautiful Japanese classic and modern vehicles racing alongside these Japanese maple trees. This is gonna be fun. Alright. Little bit of, gotta be a little bit careful. The Honda Fit actually gave us a little bit of trouble there. Not the Fit. Alright, now I got the Legacy behind us. Gotta be a little bit careful. General top 5 are BNR 32 Nismo, yeah. The Testarossa. I'm assuming the 80s Testarossa, not the earlier Testarossas. The 930 Flatnose, good choice. The Camry, good. And the Renault 5 Turbo. Ooh, yeah. That's some good choices. That's some solid choices. Ooh, the Subaru's gaining on us. Oh, the Subaru's gotta dive. 80s Testarossa, yeah. I mean, they're just iconic, man, you know? They just, They were a poster car for multiple generations. Specifically in white. Ooh. White is a really good red though. I know it's stereotypical. But red is another good color for them. I know white because like the Wolf of Wall Street and everything. And it has that, you know, kind of like pastel aesthetic, Miami aesthetic. But it looks so good in red, too. Yellow's not bad either. To be fair, there's not too many colors that a Ferrari doesn't look good in. Like, just the other day, when I was out grocery shopping, I saw this, deep green, with a cream interior, Ferrari California out and about. It wasn't in the parking lot. It was driving past while I was getting to the grocery store. And I didn't get a chance to get a picture of it. But oh, it looks so... I never thought I'd say this, but a Ferrari looks really good in that dark green. Black for the R32, candy red for the flat nose, Dura metal for the Camry, and blue for the 5 Turbo. For me, it would be, for my top 5, white for the 2000 GT, probably gunmetal silver for the FC, or white, either or. Both of those are good options. Red for the 550 Barchetta, the metallic blue for the Corvette Z01, and probably either white, red, or yellow for the Testarossa. Oh, and for the wild card, the DB9 of Volante. Believe it or not, I like it in that kind of that you know, that silver blue color. That silver blue color, where it's not quite like silver, but it's not quite like blue either. I forget what it's called, but like that Aston Martin silver blue color. That one, with like the kind of like the beige tan interior and tan roof. That is just classy. That is absolutely classy. Alright, here we go. Nice and easy. The wildcard. This is my top 5 isn't fully fixed. Like, I'm at, like, the DB9 is probably, like, up there with probably, I could easily swap that out with, like, the RX-7 or, like, the ZR1, I think. Also, I like how none of my favorites are Americans, but being from Country Boy. True. I don't know, like, if I had to include top 10, I'd have a lot more American cars, I think. Like the 78 Firebird, beautiful. The Buick GNX, beautiful. Wood. Absolutely would smash. The Viper, specifically the Viper RT10, would smash. But like, top 5 in terms of like, having vehicles for use kind of like every day and everything like that. Yeah, that would probably be my top 5. But anyway, I'm going to be ending the stream here. It is getting very late and I need to get dishes done. So thank you all so much for watching. I do appreciate it. If you enjoyed the stream, please make sure you leave a like, subscribe. Let me know what you're doing well in the comments down below. If you didn't like the stream, please let me know what you're doing poorly so I can fix that in the future. With that being said, I've been Isaac Umbras, and wherever you're in the world, E30 M3, based choice there. But anyway, take care everybody. Good night. Bye.